Hello, brothers and sisters of light and dark. Welcome to my live video feed in which I talk about common sense. I try to keep it down and Indicator and 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, very fucking important. Not important to liberals, libertarians, people who believe in God, people like to smoke, people like Yo Arse, people like DMT, and majority of you simps out there who basically don't understand what the fucking terminology is for what a simp is. Okay, that's most of you red pillars and MGTOWers, whiny boys and shit like that. Listeners' discretion is advised. These videos are not pertaining to you. Okay, I make that very clear in the beginning, but I got haters though. Even though I may sound cringy in the beginning, my videos are not intended for the masses because you're not going to be able to relate to me because I'm a prodigy, right? You don't know my history, my background. You don't ask me any questions, but of course, there's a lot of people who still come to my videos and still chat about. I even got faggy boys and stuff like that from my Facebook and YouTube or whatever, trying to hit me up, trying to get some knowledge. But then I try to give them knowledge and try to lead them towards you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm going down the rabbit hole with my page. I'm not no ordinary motherfucker out there, okay? I'm a crossbreed. I told you this time and time again. Nobody's a true alpha and shit. Nobody's a true fucking beta. Nobody's a true beta alpha. I may sound incoherent sometimes, but that's intentional because I'm trying to get as many people not to watch me than the other way around. Don't you understand there's a method to my fucking madness? Do you understand why I'm not so ambitious about likes and dislikes, okay? I don't really care about that. This is my experience. It's my life. But I got always things to talk about. That's the great thing about me, and my sense of personality and charm supersedes the other guys, okay? I'm not a Tariq Nasheed, okay? I'm not a fake. I don't do things by satire. Everything is real, and then you can take it as a grain of salt. You can take it without a grain of salt. Now, let's continue on now here. Let's get on with the subjects today. Now, as you can see, if you come on my video StreamYard, all right? This is all unscripted. You right? You have yourself a little notepad to write down some that you can actually do. Hang that person up. Don't you hate it when you actually are making goddamn videos and all of a sudden you just get a motherfucking call out of the blue and shit? And then I'm gonna put this on sound here so we won't have to worry about disruptions anymore because I'm timed. I'm basically on live now. Okay, because I get a lot of hits from hoes and hoe ass niggas and stuff like hoe ass crackers and stuff like that. And then they want to talk to me and stuff, and I give them some counseling and whatever, but they're doing it at the wrong time. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I counsel hundreds of people, more than most people that you can ever dream and possible dream of. You watch my past videos, you understand I've traveled abroad to Ethiopia, talked to lots of women, shit, video women, and I even make my own porn, okay? That's how alpha I am. All right, but let's get on with the subject here, because I don't want to run my mouth too much. I try to keep it down into half an hour, but sometimes I'll go over half an hour, right? Look at my crazy ass face. Does it look like I'm fucking joking you or fucking giving my opinions about things when I'm getting shit from the horse's mouth and shit? I was raised in the 80s, baby. I'm an 80s baby, born in Brooklyn, New York, Bed-Stuy area. Okay, how much pussy have I seen as a gynecologist? Okay, a therapist for hoes, single mothers and shit who pay me for my services, and I didn't have it fuck it with my strap on. I just fuck it with my strap on. Not my real penis, you guys. You gotta stop using your penis. Just masturbate enough and go to another country, okay? But we're gonna get on with the subject. I'm just tired of hearing guys whine about women. When women's nature is basically about money and instability. That's it. We don't need to worry about the technicalities of how a women speak. I was just on the Donovan Sharpio show, and I can't get in touch with him. I'm trying to get on air with him and stuff, and talk to him about how to teach your guys how to step up your game. Okay, step up your game by trying not to fuck with women who have used vaginas. I know it's hard for y'all guys to do that, but you guys got to step your game up by traveling over abroad. You get fresher fish that way. And you got to step up your game also by trying to get paid, because women basically are trying to get paid from you. So it's supposed to be the other way around, right? So you're getting taken advantage of. You're being the highway robbed, okay? And then if the pussy's not good, then you fucked, okay, right? You know, y'all never heard of my fucking money fucking technique, how you get free pussy? Y'all better look at that goddamn video, though. You take a roll of fake money and shit, and you basically show the female the shit. You get sucked and shit. You get fucked. And she's outside your car. You give her a roll of money and shit. You give her the roll of money. That's money's fake, baby. She go to jail because she need to be in jail. You gave her fake money, okay? She gonna try to spend it, okay? You help society that way because she shouldn't have been a whore in the first place, right? But I'm gonna say this in a way though. I'm cruel to dirty women, okay? But at least I'm honest, okay? You know, unless you do dirty fucking. Okay, if you do a cheap money fucking, okay, dirty money fucking and shit, you'll get some free pussy, okay? But it's not worth it. You fuck with used vaginas, okay? All right. But I got paid from women in my past. But let's continue on here. Today's topic will be, so I talked a couple minutes about getting most people off of here. The New Age strategy prevention from Lilith, okay, and the fall of the great mana tree. Plus other topics down here that I always discuss because I'm going down the rabbit hole. And if you join me and I send you a fucking link, please don't see it as a form of I'm getting something out of you. I'm just trying to educate you little kids, okay? Because most of you are children, okay? So today's topic, I'm gonna start off with the goddamn topics for the New Age millennials. So let's say you're a guy and you're looking for a woman. The first thing you have to do is improve on your personality. Don't talk to women. Don't try to figure women out. First, get a fucking personality before you do what I'm trying to talk to you about, okay? It's very important to have a personality. So for the first 1 minute of your slightly simping to impress the females of your characteristics and charms, you must improve on what? Which is yourself. You can't be a gigolo. You can't be a pimp. You can't be none of those motherfucking things unless you know how to fix your internal mastermind. You are God in this world. Everybody else is an NPC player. Fuck how they feel. Fuck your feelings, right? Your whole goal is either A, to find a wife, to make a business out of having a family. Italians thought about this way before this other bullshit has occurred. As I said before, love is business and business is love. It's a trade-off. You don't put your heart in your sleeve, right? You don't do that. That's not what you're supposed to be doing these days, guys. So you're a guy, you're looking for a decent female. Okay, but you don't want an ordinary female because you're a virgin yourself. Because I know tons and tons of men out there who have basically been neglected, commit suicide, Orientals, the Caucasoids, the crackers, they kill themselves. So y'all got to understand the victims in the world are the men who's mostly the victims because they lack education and charm for themselves and they didn't have a father figure to raise up. So let's go back here. You are a single male. The first thing you must do before you listen to these strategies, in which I traveled shit, and I'm the one that took my non-shit, you have to and shit, is to get yourself a personality. I try to educate guys on how to get a personality, but that's very hard to do. You just have to look at more black comedians, because they get more pussy, than white comedians. Okay? Money gets more pussy than anything. Money than black people. Okay, so the order is if you got all the money, you'll get all the pussy you want. Especially if you know how to do the fake money fucking and you just flaunting around. Okay. And then black people get the most money, get the most pussy. They get the dirty pussy most of the time. You know what I'm saying? So the order is if you can just have a sense of personality with like comedians, black comedians, watch more black comedians. You don't want to watch too many white. Now Jim Carrey is an exception. There's some white comedians that are hilarious, like Jim Carrey and shit, and Charles Faulkner and shit like that. There's a lot of white comedians and shit. But I digress here. I'm just you have to get a sense of personality before you can do anything with any type of female. You must become a Renaissance man. You must know how to have conversation. For every female I've talked to, she always said I had a great conversation. I can sit there and literally talk about hundreds of fucking topics. Okay, just keep that real, y'all. You should not talk to any women. And this also goes from vice versa for women too. If a father's there, he knows he's going to be overprotective. Okay, so since most people haven't been raised by proper father figures, you're going to need to get that education from somewhere. And the best way to get the information to build yourself up is to have a confident, motivated father figure. Okay, especially for mostly on the black side of things. Okay, let's keep it simple. The next step is that I think you should just get an education on how to travel abroad because you don't want your innocence, your blue-pilled self, to be shattered by a female that you think is blue-pilled because she's not blue-pilled. Most women lose their virginity by the age of 13 years old. I'm going to repeat this again. Most women lose their virginity by the age of 13 years old. It's like 2 women to 1 man in this world. So there's really virtually no virgins anywhere. I've encountered 2 virgins in my life, and I know I didn't expect the pussy because I did my research on how to observe the small labia and the large labia. If you really want to be that much into women, study the human behavior, the physiologically. I know I mispronounced my words. I'm not super smart. Okay, sometimes when you're super smart, you become boring. I can't be super smart. I just read a little bit and everything and shit and try to give you the very basics. I'm not super focused. My memory is not all that sharp. Okay, I know how to articulate my words in my own way, but please study a little bit of everything. The anatomy of a woman's vagina. Okay, understand what the slits are, her sensitive spots are. Understand her psychology by basically not caring about her psychology. Like I said earlier, your goal is not to care about what shit. Get a sense of personality. You're a blue pill man. Don't expect women to be virgins, but you can ask that questions to be, you can get validation from her by knowing what type of it's not really called validation. You can get basically you have what you call it criterias. Everyone has certain standards. Okay, that's the word I'm looking for. Okay, if you have standards, you become a better man than the beta alpha cucks out there, and also the betas out there. You want to become an alpha, so you have to look at women with a keen eye, with an application process. But I'm not teaching you how to be an alpha male here. I'm just trying to say the basic fundamentals is to try to get yourself a personality. This is very fucking important. All right. Get yourself a personality before you travel abroad to talk to any female. I keep expressing this and that's it over and over. If you don't have a personality, you should not even talk to anyone. It's very dangerous. I know plenty of nice looking guys who got caught up with a white woman, particularly, and she took him to the trash in the courts because he didn't know nothing about the courts. And the second thing is that after you get a personality, you start to understand what the law is, because it seems like y'all guys don't understand how women take advantage of good men. Because women are fickle. Okay? They're fickle creatures. They're seasonal. You should know the nature of a woman. And that's all you need to know. They're unstable creatures. The only way you contain them is only through fear and control. That's an alpha male. But other society would see that as fucking abusive. But let's continue on here. So you manage to get a personality. You manage to study about multiple different subjects, so you won't have a boring moment with women, because women don't have a lot of things in common with men. So you'll be running amok talking about multiple subjects while she's just sitting there in the wind. Okay, because all she got is a pussy in her pretty fucking face. But you can get paid from that. Okay. Now, if you want to be a gigolo, that's another subject here, because you're going to have to stoop. Your pay grade going to have to be a little lower, because most women unattractive women, feminists and shit that I used to talk to and shit, they got money. Okay, and then they just need a companion, but they may not be super attractive, but you don't have to fuck them. But that's another subject here. So if you really want cute girls, you're going to have to travel outside. And that's why I tried to get in touch with Donovan and shit like that. I don't hate on him, but I felt that I tried to talk to him about me being the emerald pill man. You don't like what I'm saying, because I said he was a simp because he likes to use vaginas. Like, that's to be emerald pill. You can't be a simp. All right. Because you have too much knowledge on how to manipulate the system in women combined. It's a Batman pill. It's an Oz pill. It's a chill pill. Appeal. It's a Renaissance pill. It's an intellectual pill that most pimps understand this game, because I was raised around that game in my past in the 80s. Remember? So as I said before, we're talking about the new age techniques to prevent yourself from Lilith. But you need these certain things in order to move forward, so you can actually talk to women. You don't need to understand women. We already understand women are seasonal. They're usually not virgins. We know this. So there's no need to talk about it, right? And if anybody's watching me say something on the bottom there, if you have any questions, go ahead. And I'm just trying to tell you, I have a lot of experience, more than anybody else. I'm being arrogant about it. Okay, you might not like my face, so get the hell out of here if you don't like my face, motherfucker. Okay. So after you become more knowledgeable with yourself, after you know and you start studying and becoming a renaissance of learning different things and different subjects and stuff like that, then you can basically get ready to get your passport, because that's what actually happened to me. I'm a schizoaffective, so I hear voices telling me to get things, and I didn't think I was ever succeeding. So you have to create a dating site, a foreign dating site for different Nigeria. Well, be careful of different countries. They're thieves. Okay? And as I said before, when you go around putting your face on international sites for dating sites and stuff, you're going to have some sort of standards for yourself before you even you know if a female asks you what your occupation is, she's not really into you. My wife, when I met my Ethiopian wife, which was a virgin, she basically didn't ask me for any money. Somebody must have told her not to do such a thing. Okay. And she gave me everything I needed. So I'm a sexual person, so I sent her my sexual pictures, and she must send me her sexual pictures. That is what I demand from any female I encounter. If she's not a virgin, I don't travel. You don't travel. Why would you travel to a woman? And this is the thing that fucks with me. Why would you travel to another country if she's not a virgin? You know what I'm saying? Even though it might be more fresher than an American or developed country's pussy, okay, which is common sense factual, she might have some AIDS and some shit. Because you know how the white man likes to spread their vaccinations and experimentations on different countries. We know this. We know this. Okay. So you talk to a female who's a foreigner and shit. She doesn't speak fluent English. She at least have to know intermediate language. You have to make sure that when you talk to women, I have tons of hits from Russian women, but I'm not attracted to light-skinned females. Okay? So you choose the country that you want to put your profile in, and you start to begin to communicate with her. You want to do what I do and be completely like an emerald pill man to protect your ass full circle. That's a hard thing. It takes 3 years to marry a female over in her country. She got to know all the locations or how she got to do the paperwork. That's very technical and very complex. My wife did all the things that she was supposed to do. Understand that before I even brought her here. Okay, she was worth to bring here because my inner voices said it is okay because we have a plan for you. Okay, but you, on the other hand, you shouldn't get married. I do not recommend anyone to get married to a foreign female. I'm trying to tell you right now, it's recommended to keep her ass over there. Okay, and the best way to protect yourself is to make sure everything belongs to you. And if she's good, you give her what she needs. If she's bad, she don't get what you need. You don't marry women over there. You make agreement pacts with women. You tell them, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm expecting. And then they should give it to you. If they don't give it to you, get a second wife if you need to, because you're supposed to be creating families as a business. Understand that. That's the new age strategy. Getting yourself a personality, start researching more and shit like that. And then basically putting your face out there for international dating services from other countries. That may take years. You might not even get a hit. You got to be as simple as possible. You can even use a little bit of dark psychology. I believe in God, even though you may believe in God as yourself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I believe in Christianity, even though you're not religious. Okay? Those things are truth, double tongue. You could double tongue all you want, double talk if you want. But please understand, I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. So you got your face up on there. You know how to talk to women, okay? And of course, let me see. Somebody just popped up in here, okay? Hi, okay. What's going on, WVN? Who are you?
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on, okay? And
Hey,
did we talk on the Facebook? Don't try to troll me.
No. I see you don't know who I am. I'm BMT, but actually, this is my actual channel, WVN.
Oh, okay. Now I know who you are. Okay, yeah, because sometimes I'll just post. I won't post people's faces on there because I don't know who you are. But don't try to troll me because that's magic. You're messing with magic here. Okay? So how you been? Because I know I wanted you on the show the last time. We wanted to talk about how bullying is cool and stuff like that. Today's topic. If you want, whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about.
No. What's your topic? What's your topic today? I think we were supposed to talk about the bullying and suicide. We were supposed to talk about that.
Yeah, what's wrong with your speaker? It sounds very low for some reason.
Does it sound low?
Yeah, I can hear you a little bit better.
Yeah, I'm on a phone. Let me switch to something different. I'll switch to something different.
Okay. So I got my boy BMT on there. We talk about different subjects. If you come on here, I have to show your Cash App. I have to show your information because everybody needs help in some sort of situation, okay? So I talk to hundreds of thousands of people, not hundreds of thousands, but I talk to thousands of individuals. I can say that safely, okay? From other countries and different people overseas. I talk to tons of women and shit. I try to teach people advice on how to become a gigolo and all this other stuff. But of course, a lot of guys don't qualify because they don't have the stamina or the discipline to actually listen. Okay, simple things I say. Okay, so as I said before, we are talking about a new age strategy prevention from Lilith and the fall of the great mana tree. And I know some people will be like, I want to hear what the fuck he has to say about the mana tree, but I'm going to talk about it. So I want to stay on this topic, but we have other things I want to talk about too as well. Okay, so I'm waiting for BMT to try to pop up on here and shit because I hope this 5G really blows our fucking mind because I'm tired of these phones not keeping up with the capabilities to keep things sharp and clear. Right now, I'm filming in fucking 1080, okay, right? And the sound is not really super clear for some reason. So we got computers that has buggy problems in their microphones, and my phone may even have one and shit like that. But as I said before, anyone who's watching me, say something so I'll know you're there. You don't necessarily need to donate to me. You can donate to BMT because I told you I'm not ambitious, but I got things to talk about that with that too. Because I got a list of things I want to talk about, and I'll post it up there. So again, we're gonna do the rehash again. If he comes up on here, we're gonna talk about it again. We're gonna get to the mana tree as well. Okay. So you're gonna need a personality. You're gonna need to get out of that MGTOW. Because MGTOW and red pillars, those are this, they tend to be more whiny boys. Okay. Let me go down the list of what the colors of the pills is, because a lot of people I don't think they know what the pills mean. Blue means innocence. Everyone has usually be a blue pillar. Okay, so that's this form of innocence. I was a blue pillar. I was going to commit suicide when I was a blue pillar. Then, after you become a blue pillar, you learn your lesson from women, or maybe you didn't learn your lesson from women, so you become a red pillar. When you learn about women's nature, you become a red pillar. But I didn't really get to the red pillar because I realized that my life was more valuable than just trying to skip to the red pillar. So I immediately went straight to the top, to the fucking emerald pill, because I've talked to pimps and hustlers, and they told me, why don't you just read about women? Why don't you just learn about women's nature and just shut the fuck up, right? Shut the fuck up, right? So that's what I did. So I saved myself a lot of fucking time by trying to analyze women when you don't need to. Because 9 times out of 10, if you really want to know a woman, show some cash. Show some cash to get that ass, and she will be your servant. It's not fucking hard. Having a relationship with women, it can make things complex. If you take advice from Pimp, you get the best advice, because women need to be controlled. They need to feel that kind of power that you can dominate them. Okay, right? So you be the animal, and then someone looking on the outside may see that as abusive, but it's not. There's women who literally like to be abused, but we're gonna talk about that too as well. But anyway, I digress here. So the blue pill is innocence. The red pill is understanding women. I went strictly to the emerald pill, which I'll explain. And blue and red represents there's a purple pill. Now the purple pill is trying to be a smart ass. You're trying to get your cake and eat it too and shit. And I believe that the purple pill represents trying to be smart enough to use it. You're trying to take advantage of her, but she's still going to take advantage of you in the long run. Okay, so you're not really smart enough. Okay, you ain't study the law. You ain't study how to protect yourself from the law. And the things that she can do. Okay, you're just trying to be a smart ass. Okay, that's what the purple pill represents to me when I hear it. But some people got slight variations of it. Okay, I don't know. So after the purple pill, then it's the black pill. Okay, now the fucking black pill is a monk pill, and you don't want to go that far. Okay, that means you just gave up on all women and shit. You become a Buddhist monk or some shit. You just say, hey, I'm just for myself as a man. And that's a good idea, but you want to try to have fun in this life, because life is fucking short. You live less than 100 years old, right? So you want to try to do something in your life rather than it's peaceful. I lived most of my life peaceful when I was between the ages of 17 all the way up to fucking 31. No, not 31. I've dealt with women because I just got a sense of personality. If you get a sense of personality, you will have friends and concubines. Trust me, you will. But you may not want to fuck them though. So once you get a sense, I believe most people who are black pill and red pill and MGTOWs don't have a sense of personality, and I can prove my point here when I speak. Okay, I can prove to you that most guys are beta alphas. Okay, I can prove to you that easily. Okay, and of course that's what I'm trying to teach our guys. Now, the emerald pill is someone who just basically is like more like a pimp, but more like Donald Trump. You grab him by the pussy. That's the way you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be direct and honest. If you lay a foundation for women, the application process, that you are the dominator and the dictator or the king. A dictator is not necessarily a bad individual. Okay, a tyrant is a bad individual, but a dictator is basically like a father figure, a mother figure, a boss. Okay, it's a business name. Trade off. You teach your children rules and regulations. So you are the dictator. You're the boss of your house, right? There you go. So women, on the other hand, don't understand that type of shit. And beta males, effeminate males, don't understand that shit either. Because you come in my house and I give you rules and regulations, you was already foretold. You was already warned before you got into my crib, right? So I can't be a dictator if I put everything right out there in the front for you to see, right? So it's very important, if you want to be an alpha male, to have an application process and also have standards. So we're still talking about this motherfucking new age shit. Getting a sense of personality, learning about different topics and shit. learning about different subjects so you won't have a dull moment. Okay, you know, knowing how to make a woman smile, you know, imitating black comedians more because they get more pussy than the white comedians on it, obviously. Or you can just be balling in some shit, just be a simp and just send out money to get the used vaginas everywhere you go. I do not recommend, if you're emerald pill, you do not fuck with used vaginas. Trust me, sorry. That's emerald pill. That means you believe yourself as God. You don't believe in religion because you do too much research. Remember, the emerald pill is a special pill. Most guys don't qualify to be the motherfucking emerald pill, so don't try it. You can make your own motherfucking pill. Make a mango pill or some shit like that. But let's get on with another subject now here. The next subject we're going to talk about is some ancient history, okay? Some mystical history that you never had even heard of before. Why in the fuck that people think that the Devil's Tower. Now I'm gonna probably write it down here. That way you can do the research on it if you want. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you. It's called the Devil's Tower, and people will automatically assume that this is a fucking mountain, okay, or they'll basically say this is molten lava. You know, I'm like, it's a different composition. With, you know, if you go to Arizona and shit, you'll see these mountains that has a clean top, like it's been chopped down and shit like that. Now, I read mystical stories like in the Mahabharata, the Vishnu records, the Ramayana, okay, this older Eastern philosophies, stories that will blow your fucking mind. The trees they will fell. They were destroyed because of the fact that how humanity, the Indians said it best, that the white man is from another world. They're invaders, and the true aboriginals respected the earth. So when you have the darker complected people, the aboriginals of earth, they respect the earth. We still can actually see to this day that there's aboriginals in this world who still exist. All right, and they're more colorful. So I'm always asking people, right now, where can you find white Caucasoid people at? Where right now can you find Oriental Aboriginal people? You're not going to find them anywhere, but you will see black people, okay, Aboriginals, okay, on TV, National Geographic, the red people, the monkey people. You'll see them still living in huts with spears and shit. Okay, all right. Okay, so the Indian Native Americans said that all different races come from different worlds. So if you think about it, okay, how you been, BMT, WBN? How you been? You have returned? Is your microphone better?
Yeah, I think so. It should be better. How does it sound
Yeah, I
now?
can hear you.
Okay.
So
All
how
right.
you been? What's going on with you?
Not too much. Not too much. Just chilling. Just answering back. You said I know we had our differences of of showcases. So I said, I'll come over and I want to hear his set thoughts on on certain things. So yeah, so I guess so.
Yeah,
Um
I learned from everybody. I don't have a difference in any kind of showcase. What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
okay, so I remember you were saying that you like my content was on talking about family and bullying and different other stuff. You said I didn't understand your the said talking points of a suicide. You suicide? Are you for or against it?
I'm all for basically I'm pro suicide. I'm all for it for people who commit suicide, and I'm kind of a sadist. You know what a sadist is and a satanist is. You know what those two things are.
Right. Okay.
Okay,
So
so
why?
I'm gonna talk to you about the positive attributes of
Okay.
suicide, the
Okay.
positives.
Okay.
Okay, and now I'm gonna talk to you because I know I wanted you to join my show so I can explain myself why bullying is good and also suicide is also good as well. Okay,
Okay.
okay, so we got these individuals in the world who are suffering, right? Okay,
Okay.
a lot of people suffering. Okay, and the good thing I see about bullying. Let's talk about bullying one thing at a time. The good side of bullying. Let's say, for instance, you are ignorant about what to expect when you get on the internet because you didn't have your proper father figure to teach you or your mother to teach you about the dangers of even going outside. Okay, you just haven't been trained well that when you put your face on the internet, I get attacked all the time, death threats and all that other shit, but it's entertaining to me. Okay, you understand what I'm saying so far?
Uh, I'm trying to follow. So
Okay, so since you understand that you may have ignorance when you come onto the YouTube, you may have been brought into the darkness because you were ignorant about the challenges of being on the internet or YouTube. It doesn't matter what platform you're on, you will be attacked. And everyone knows this. Either they know it or they do not know. Don't you agree?
okay, I agree to it. I agree. Go ahead.
Okay, you agree? I understand. Okay. I want to make sure that I make myself very clear because sometimes I may sound a little bit long-winded, but I'm really not trying to be. Okay. And when you put yourself in that arena, okay, sometimes people fake their death. Sometimes people fake that they're being bullied. Like I hear stories where kids are being bullied on, right? Okay. You hear me? You follow me so far?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening.
And so my gripe is who were the parents who allowed their child to be on the internet in the first place, right?
Okay.
Okay. Or it could be the child ignorantly got on the internet, right?
Why would it be ignorant got on the internet? Why would
Well,
that
I'm
be?
just saying some children illegally go behind their mother's backs. The mothers are not watching them carefully. So basically, they'll just use it. Like my daughter, she would never be able to use Facebook unless I'm fully monitoring her. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
So, but there are children who basically use the internet as a fun tool. Okay.
Okay.
And the parents are not watching them or monitoring them. So even with all of the predators out there, somebody's not being very responsible. Even the child will learn something, even through ignorance. When a child is on the internet and they're being bullied on, what is the first thing that child does when they're being bullied?
That literally this is not right, or what? What do they think? What are they supposed to think when they're getting bullied?
They talk to their parents, right?
Okay, yeah, I agree.
So I'm trying to make it shine a light on how it's good instead of bad, right? So I'm gonna get to my point. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure you understand because I talk very quickly. Okay, and I want to make sure you see the positive side of bullying rather than just the negative side. Okay, so now we understand that the child has been bullied on. We're talking about children. We're gonna try to take it to the nitty bitty, that niche. Once that child continues to be called ugly, okay, why does you tell me why would a child continue to be on the internet?
Why would a child continue to be on the internet?
After the
Because
child has been attacked a few times by being called ugly. Okay.
because they want to be on and they want to be able to have fun and participate.
Okay. So why couldn't they change the platform that they're on, or ask their parents to change their algorithm or something?
What do you mean by change the algorithm? Like
Well,
literally.
basically, you're being watched by other children. Okay, you don't have to
Okay.
have other children comment on your child's page because I know about the algorithms. Like in the background, you can block comments. You can
Yeah,
actually
you
block
can.
comments on Facebook. You can. Okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, but some children don't have those parents to watch over them, so they'll continue. So you got to be careful of charlatans. Okay, and sometimes you may hear a story where a child may die because of quote unquote bullying. I got bullied on when I was in school. Bullying made me a better person, right? Okay, but some people can't handle it. But I'm just saying there's certain outlets, right? Right, BMT,
Okay.
which you have to take action to before you commit suicide. Do you still follow me?
I'm listening. I'm listening to what you're saying.
Okay. So I'll see if the child is so, caught up in this depression. Okay. I don't understand how the child can stay in depression when the child has to learn something on the internet to like cut off ties with communications. But if that child continuously is basically on the internet being abused without cutting off the comments, whose fault you think that is?
Pretty much that's up to them and their said people. Well, that's their power.
Well, I blame the child. Okay.
You
So
blame
when the
it.
child,
Okay.
yeah, I blame the child, regardless of how immature they are and how they don't know. Children who are actually depressed, become destructive later on in their life. So it is better off for them to die. Okay, you know, you got kids, you got white kids becoming incels. You know about bullying. You're in school, right? So bullying in school is a big thing that I was into because I got tired of this shit and I somehow flipped it with psychology. But there's a lot of kids who take AK-47s and stuff like that, and they start killing random kids because they couldn't know how to control their anger, right? So they had an outlet, but they didn't take that outlet. So they got taken out, right? So no matter that child who kills in Sandy Hook or whatever, I feel that child's going to be taken out regardless because of his anger. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel bad for all of the kids who do get killed in some situation, but understand that's a repercussion of bullying. Okay.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? You follow me?
Yeah, no, I'm not following at all. Like, this is not making no logical sense right here.
Okay. What I'm saying is that everybody knows bullying is bad overall, right? Okay. Now, if you hurt an innocent person, sometimes other innocents will get hurt, right?
Okay. So
so it's best
good?
To be safe. Go ahead.
But you haven't shown how bullying is good if it's hurting people.
Well, I'm just saying the good thing about bullying is that some people learn from it and some people do not. The ones who do not learn from the bullying actually hurt themselves to take themselves out of the equation of being a problematic person in the future. Now you understand?
Not really, because here's the thing about it. Okay, so you said that you wouldn't allow your child on social media without something of you have to be over her and monitor her.
Yeah. But let me make this clear so we don't have this much understanding, because I know a lot of people misunderstand me. There's a positive side to bullying and it's a negative side. The positive side of the bullying is when you have someone like a child who is an incel, okay, killing innocent other people because of their anger that they did not control, right? You understand? You follow me so far?
Go ahead.
The child has a problem with constructive reasoning, okay? And so that constructive problem, that construct of not understanding how to solve that problem should be handled by an adult, but it's not, right? Okay. So since it's not handled by an adult, the child will most likely be a problem in the future. So if the child does something wrong, he will automatically terminate himself. Okay.
Why
you understand that so far?
Why do you gamble to think that person is going to automatically going to kill themselves? Because what if they don't want to kill themselves? What if they just want to just keep on doing harm to other said people?
Well, as I said before, the child did not take into precaution of taking constructive ways of handling his anger and rage. That's all I'm saying. Okay, the child has not found a way to soothe the anger in the range of pain. As I said before, if the child has rage, he's going to do something in response. Okay, and so that response is going to be a negative response. He's not going to learn from his mistakes. He's going to immediately suffer for it immediately. Do you understand?
Okay, now I'm getting what you're saying on those portions right there. I would want to ask you now, if the person that went to a school and did an unforgivable thing and took all those lives, how does that help them? How does that help the situation with all the other people who have lost their children? Like, how does that?
Okay, it can help. So let me explain to you. The innocents that died, there will be a red alert, an awareness time. The awareness time means that no longer in the school, they will put in place certain restrictions of bullying, and it will actually help out other children who are basically more bullied in school. Well, let me finish what I'm saying here. If innocents die, there will be a red alert. Okay, there will be a new construct of law. Okay, which helps out society and also schools that is not really strict upon bullying. Because when I was being bullied on, when I tell the teacher that I'm being bullied on, they didn't take me seriously. But now, okay, if a child kills someone, it will react. It will make a movement okay, which is a positive thing. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I'm not vibing with it because you're saying that. Granted, we've already seen these things, and we're already having it where people are reacting. They are already forming anti-bully laws and treatments.
And do you know why
Or
those laws was created? Those laws were created because of what? Something that happened.
okay, but you're saying, but you were saying suicide is not a bad thing, and I'm trying to figure out
Well,
how
that's another subject. We're not talking about suicide. We're just right
okay,
now
but
talking about
okay,
bullying
you're
here.
saying bullying is a good thing, but you have yet proven how bullying has benefited anybody if
Well,
other
I
people
just explained it to you. It benefits a lot of people because if there was no such thing as bullying, there will be no strict rules and regulations in schools. Okay, there will be no. If bullying was okay, okay, and nobody did anything, and no incel has killed anybody, there will be no strict rules or regulations. I'm just looking at the positive side of something from something negative. From something negative, something positive comes from it, and that is the logic I'm looking at. Okay.
okay, so what then if that's the case, then what would be the point of you monitoring your child from social media if you're like, hey, this is a necessary evil?
Okay, yeah. Now, for me, however, since I'm a disciplinary, unlike a lot of
Um,
individuals, let's see, there's a difference between me and ordinary people. Okay, a lot of people don't have a lot of discipline in their life, so if you don't monitor your child, obviously you're inviting the darkness in, right? Okay.
but you just now you just said you were fine with the darkness, so why wouldn't you
Yeah,
just invite
I'm
it in?
actually fine with the darkness, but I'm not just gonna let my daughter just get bullied on. Okay, so that's me as being a responsible parent. But I'm just saying, I'm talking about the dark side of people who are irresponsible here. I'm not talking about. We're talking about two different types of people: disciplinary people who will not allow their child to get this bullying, which there could still be positive things that comes from the bullying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's positive things that can. All my point is I'm trying to say that there's positives that can come from bullying. That's all. Okay.
Okay,
Now let's go into the next subject with the suicide. There's positive things that can come from the suicide as well. You ready?
you haven't shown why the bullying was positive, but
I did. I explained to you that when
but you
someone
won't.
incel,
But,
I did
but
explain to you that
okay, but you
when
won't allow your child to be bullied, but you're fine with other kids being bullied.
I never said I was fine with anybody being bullied. I just basically said that a good thing can come from, you know, bullying. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Okay, I'm only saying, I'm generalizing and saying good things can come from bullying the wrong child. Good things can come from bullying the right child. Like I'm the right child and I got bullied on. So how I handled bullying is by using psychology with bigger people. Okay. So I used a difference, instead of shooting people, right? Like an incel would, okay, predominantly Milano the crackers, you know how they do it, AK-47. I'm not down with that shit. All right. But it is other ways, right? So a good thing on my side, I did it this way. The bad thing, what he did on his side, he did it that way. But a good thing comes out of both things. You understand what I'm saying? I hope you do.
I'm
I,
listening.
I don't. I do not encourage people to do bullying. I do not encourage anything. So you understand my point so far?
Okay.
Okay. Now we're gonna talk about suicide here. Now, I just explained to you how good things can come from both bad and good bullying. Okay. All right. And I'm gonna talk to you about why suicide is a good thing too as well. Okay. So you know what I'm leading to when I talk about the suicide thing. I was gonna commit suicide when I was younger. Okay, I was a blue pillar. You follow me so far?
I'm listening.
And I don't believe that people should commit suicide, but sometimes some people go through so much pain, right? So what could be the positive thing when someone commits suicide and they're in great pain? Can you think of one?
None. I can't think
Oh,
of none.
for real, you can't today.
No.
Sometimes people actually say they commit, like Tupac. People say he's still alive. Da 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 da. Okay, but some people do it because they're being a charlatan. Okay, so that's the lying reason. Okay, they can make a positive out of saying they committed suicide and they really did not. Okay, the next step is basically they died because they were actually suffering to the greatest extent of power. Okay? They could not handle it. Okay, so they take themselves out of this life out of either spite okay, out of either spite or because they can't handle the burden of the pressure, okay, that they put themselves into. They put themselves in the crock pot, okay, especially on the internet, Facebook, whatever. Do you understand what you follow me so far?
Okay.
So if a person wants to commit suicide, why would a person want to commit suicide and help the world regardless? Now, some people may get offended and may get sensitive on this, but I care not for those individuals. I don't care for people who care for me if I commit suicide or not, because I would never do such a thing. But I believe there's a negative side to suicide. If you commit suicide, you're coming right back here. That's a mystical belief system I have. Okay, so I don't recommend nobody to commit suicide. I believe that if you're living in a box and you're alone, improvise and find another way out. Okay, I believe that strongly. Okay, but when someone commits suicide simply because they were being bullied on, simply because they're being lonely, okay, or any other reason, okay, that seems to be you can't really find you couldn't find another way out. That's you just deserve to die. You're helping the world out too at the same time. Okay, I see a positive in it because first of all, if you die, you give more space to the world. Okay, and you will be back. You will be loved. Okay.
Okay,
Second
but
of
what if
all,
they don't have that belief? What if they don't have that belief system? So
if they don't have that belief system, I'm sorry, they're just going to have to find it because I wasn't commit suicide. I told you before I was blue pill. Some guy told me, if it wasn't for this guy told me in the hallway and he was a pimp, he said that why would you want to kill yourself when you could just read up on women? Because I was very lonely in my blue pill days, man. And what happened is that I was going to cough myself. I know a lot of Orientals, the Milanos, the crackers were killing themselves. It's at an alarming rate. They do not attempt it. They do it. They follow through. Not like women, okay? Statistically, okay? So you got people over in the Far East who's living in these boxes. They jumping off bridges almost every day. They're going into the Black Mountain and killing themselves. And I feel bad for their situation. But then I can't feel bad for their situation because, they could have found another way out. Okay, you see what I'm saying? So I'm kind of like a tough love type guy,
okay.
Okay.
All right, I get you with that, but I look at it like I don't want like I know what it's like to be on that type of urge,
Okay.
and then but I don't encourage it like suicide because then nobody you care about and they're committing suicide. Well, you're not going to tell them, well, suicide's a good thing. You should just go ahead and do it. You're not going to tell them that. You're going to try to talk them to staying, in the fight. If you don't know.
There's people out there who encourage people to try. I bet you won't do it. They push people to do that. But
right,
my thing is that, huh?
Those people are pieces of shit because they're encouraging.
They're pieces of shit. But understand this, though. There's a psychology behind that. I believe that they're just bullying on that person to see if they will do it or not. And I think that's wrong because they're going to get karma anyway. Everybody's going to get their own karma. If you want to push someone on the brink of edge and they're at their emotional peak on the internet and you're not trying to help someone, I truly believe in karma. Okay, I truly believe in that. But if the person on the receiving end is not trying to counter that, okay, there's a problem with that too. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you are in crisis, and you need help with something, you should just basically immediately start locking yourself off. Don't just randomly go to some old 87-year-old man and basically want to shoot him because your girlfriend did something. Then you shoot a 70-year-old man in the head and then shoot yourself. Don't do that. Okay.
All right.
I don't encourage suicide and I don't encourage bullying. Okay. My point is that the good can come from all different facets of things, even though it may sound kind of sadistic. Okay. You understand?
Well, it's interesting. I mean, if that's your belief, I don't stop it. I don't stop your belief. You know what I'm saying? Everyone has the right to believe what they believe, and I respect, everybody's belief. I just don't think that, but I've dealt with bullying when I was young. Hell, I even dealt with social media.
How did you deal with bullying? How did you deal with bullying?
Huh?
How did you deal with the bullying?
I fought back, and also I had self. Also, I built up my self-esteem. You know, there are ways that you know, you got to stand up to your bullies. You know, and once you start learning how to stand up to your bullies, you know, then you know, even when dealing with with people who harass me on social media, uh, you know, I choose not to allow them to have certain say on my channel. It's my point of view. I have the authority to block them or tune them out, and that's what I choose to do.
How do
So,
you help people who are suffering through suicide? I help hundreds of people through suicide. You know how overbearing it is. Sometimes I feel that I can't handle because I'm empath, because I'm indigo empath. Okay, you know, I took the Myers-Briggs test, and I'm an INGAJ. I'm a mastermind. Okay, so I'm an empath, so I can't take up too much. I can't sponge up too much emotion. Okay, so I got to be careful of who I hang around. That's why I can't hang around too many people, because I can feel the energy. You know what I'm saying? So how
okay.
do you handle people's emotional suffering? Okay, as a therapist. Okay, I consider you a therapist. Okay, how do you
Um,
handle it?
um, well, one of the first things I do is I actually, I listen to their said problem, and I actually we actually have to start breaking it down from the starting point to actually the mitigated area of how they got to where they are. Once you start doing that, you start hearing out what's going on. And I don't
Your
disagree
your
that,
your
hey,
your speaker is acting up. Okay,
can you hear me?
yeah, I
Can you
can hear
hear
you
me?
now. Yeah,
I don't disagree with somewhat of the tough love, but we have to build them up to understanding that, listen, the direction that we're going, you might not like the set answers. But if you're willing to challenge that, if you're willing to hear it, then I agree. But you know, sometimes some people do need to hear the truth. I take that from you. I believe you do a really good job of saying, "Hey, yeah, bullying, yeah, it's bad, but sometimes there are necessary evils." I get that.
like religion. Religion is a great evil for a greater good.
I understand that, and I get you with that. I believe that you know, in talking to the person, you have to face your nightmares, and those nightmares they will inflict harm on you, but you have to stand up to them, you know. And I have demons that I deal with. Hell, shit, I know I still deal with these demons. However, not not
Hold on for a minute. Hold
go
on for
go
just
go, brother.
okay. Hold on. Let me just. All right. Go ahead.
So in dealing with my said demons, it makes it a lot more easier. And I try to tell them like, listen, man, I'm never I'm going to tell you what you need to do to address your demons. It's going to be up to you to want to go in that said dark and actually, you know, I'll pull you out, but you got to tell me how far you'll go in the depth. And, and once you start dealing with the abyss of issues that you have, then we can start working on starting to fill up that room with light. But some people don't want to fix their said issues or their said problems. They just want to be heard, but they don't want to be fixed. So if they don't want to be fixed, then hey, leave them be, let them feel, and that's it. That's all there is to it. You know, if they want to suffer it out, let them suffer it out. You know, that's you know, some people are masochists. I think even you know that. There are some people who just like to feel and they just want to be tormented. And they just want to say, hey, tell me how to fix my problem, but don't correct me. You know, just allow me to be ignorantly you know, in the situation. And you know, some people are like that. Some
Hmm.
people are just like that. So
Some people take advantage of that too. They'll
yeah,
feed off your energy. They're like vampires. I was told they were called vampires. But you got to be careful, and that's why I said that's on the mystical side, like the evil eye and all the other stuff, mystical stuff. I said, hey, you know, I talk to a lot of people in my inbox, and it gets too much for me. It's mainly, people from the UK and Canada and stuff. They talk to me like I'm about to take myself out, and most of them are like mostly homosexuals or pedophiles and stuff like that. And I try to tell them that there's ways out, and I give them some solutions. But sometimes I feel like they're feeding off my energy. Okay, when I give
Right.
them advice, you know what I'm saying?
Yes. No, that's true. And yes, some people do. Some people empathically, they do feed off of other people because that's the only thing that's all they know.
Hmm.
That's all they know. All they know how to do is feed off of other people and off of what that said person does. So
Hmm.
I agree in what you're saying about that. I believe that is said true. I believe that's so true. You know, some people don't want to be healed. Some people like living an infectious life of just being a problem. When men come to me repetitiously and keep telling me about feminism, 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 I always ask them like, well, damn, you keep worrying about feminism, but if you're a man who runs your own house, feminism is not a problem. Feminism is not a problem because
Hmm.
you're running your own house in a set design. But if you want to just complain all day long, then I don't know what to tell you. You're your own weakness. You're your own. I don't feel bad. I can't feel bad for this.
Do you know how many guys I actually encounter on my inbox talking to them about this red pill and this MGTOW shit? I said that y'all gonna have to drop that complaining. That stuff is annoying to me. Okay, I try to tell guys about the emerald pill, but they can't. You can't qualify to be an emerald pill if you don't have a sense of self worth. You don't want to learn. You just basically want to talk about loneliness and the feminist movement. Okay, I don't. I can't really relate to I talk to
I
guys
can't,
like
can't either.
Sandman and all. I said, you talk about the technicalities of women. That's the woman is easy to understand. Okay, it's not really, it's just cut and dry to me. Okay, it's black and white. Okay, either you're this to take control of the woman because she likes to be controlled. Okay, there's lots of women who like to be controlled and also abused. Okay, and I talk to people all of the time, and I tell them, hey, let's stop talking about it. Let's get some solutions done, because that's what Emerald Pill is about. Solutions and solving how to protect yourself from the Lilith or the Jezebel or the succubus,
Right.
and understanding how the law works because the law don't listen to men. Okay, you're a second class citizen, and she can lie all she wants, and you will lose. Okay, but if you have a plan, a master plan like A, B, C, and D, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I think it's better for guys to basically just masturbate and just get the passports because if I did, I'm not super smart myself, but it took some years, okay? But I give people like what this video is about. I'm talking about how the new age strategy prevention from Lilith, and I'm also talking about the fall of the great manna tree and some other little topics as well because I never have a dull moment here. I try to tell guys to get a sense of personality, okay?
Right.
Because without a sense of personality, it's you're just becoming an incel or you're gonna be a complainer. Okay. I tried to get in touch with Donovan and teach and talk to him about the pimp game back in the old in the 80s, but I can't get in touch with him. And he think I was disrespectful to him, but I wasn't disrespectful to him. But you understand what I'm saying? You try to give guys education from the old head perspective, but they don't hear you. Okay. So they choose the path of complaining. And I know you be handling that very well. Okay. Go ahead.
Right. It's just the thing about it is, I'm not gonna keep complaining. I'm gonna come up with a set solution. You get what I'm saying, Mo? I'm gonna come up with a set. I'm gonna come up with a set solution to the problem. I'm gonna come up with a set solution. And some men, I'm gonna say it like this. I think some of these men like being masculine. I think they like, because when I say, why don't you go somewhere else? Why don't you go travel? Why don't you go do something better with your life? It's literally goes to there's nothing you can do. Then why the fuck you talking like in my circle? Then there's no need for us to talk.
Mm-hmm.
There's no
Yeah,
need for us to talk.
they be guys coming in my inbox, right? And I said, "What is a gigolo? What did you do? What's a fetish gigolo?" I said, "That's a good step by asking questions because you'll get a solution on how to have a profitable business rather than complaining about single mothers, right?" And I said, single mothers are profitable business, right? Okay, and wink, wink. Feminist movement, feminist women is a profitable business, right? Because a wink, wink, okay. But they don't ask enough questions. They don't ask. Okay, go ahead.
No. Like I said, I believe a said man needs confidence. A said man, he needs confidence, and if you don't have confidence, you're gonna have a pretty hard. You're gonna have a pretty hard coming up. If you don't have confidence, a woman loves confidence, but I don't see confidence coming from a lot of these said men. I don't. All I hear is fear. All I hear is complaining. All I hear is nagging. And I'm like, you have your family, you have your child. You start off with that first. Get that shit together first, and then when you get that shit down, then other than that, I literally heard a woman said on a channel on a platform that a man should never get married, and I'm like, well then, shit, that's you, bitch. Like that's you. But you don't speak for me. You don't speak for me. I speak for me. I control my own said fate. Just because you properly choose, don't mean I'm going to sit my here and listen to you. Because I see that a lot where, why am I listening to some woman on social media? I'm not gonna
Hmm.
listen to some woman on social media tell me on the woes of why men shouldn't get married. First of all, you don't control that narrative. I don't. Like I said, a man, you can control your own fate if you so choose. Do you believe in that? Do you believe a
Oh,
man
definitely. But let me ask you a question. Do you believe that marriage is necessary for men these days?
um yeah, I will say that.
Hmm. Even
I will
though
say
that the courts are against you, if a woman becomes seasonal, as you should know, the women in nature is very unstable and fickle. Okay, but women will dominate you if they get tired of you. Okay.
I don't think they can dominate me. I don't
Okay.
think they can. Like here's the thing. Here's the thing about it. As a black man, when has it ever been fair for you? When has society ever been fair for you? As a black man, just tell me when in history has society ever been nice to you? You're a smart man.
Society has been nice to me. Yeah, yeah. But the thing is that I have encountered racism and I have encountered women like my wife. She tried to take advantage of me in the courts, and that's a terrible thing to lose your daughter because of a lie. Okay. And usually with me, with women, they lie, they die. Okay, I'm alpha like that because I can say that type of shit. But with a lot of other guys, they'll get taken advantage of. So that's what I'm saying. I was asking you a little earlier that you feel that marriage is because you probably haven't went through. I have talked to countless guys who got married and they lost everything. Okay, so I don't know about your past. Okay, I understand that you probably feel marriage has still some value to it, but basically, marriage is not necessary. I knew from the start that I didn't need to marry no female from America. I had to marry my wife because all her qualifications was too high, and my voice was telling me I had to get married to my wife. So it's a mystical thing, and I'm safe because of this the mystical side of me again. And my wife is still here, okay, and my kids are still here because I have a plan beyond the plan, past the matriarchic system, okay. But a lot of guys these days don't have that knowledge to take advantage of the matriarch, like taking advantage of Britney Spears and Eve and shit like that. They actually won in a court case of the matriarch, okay, because they were broke ass broke ass men, okay. And
Wait,
you know
but
how Oprah is. She
Brittany,
ain't married to her husband. She ain't married to her boyfriend. You know what that means to get married, right? That's a contractual agreement. That's a business, okay, proposition. Okay.
but I'm asking, I'm trying to find out. Brittany, she wasn't married to like K-Fed got the kids. K-Fed
Well,
got the
she
kids.
lost in the court of law. So even if you're not married, there's a way you can still lose. So the guy won in the court of law on the matriarch. I think he got a sum of money every month.
He gets paid. He gets paid money, and also he got the boys. She didn't get shit.
Hmm.
So she didn't get shit. Like K-Fed got the boys, and he also got money. Brittany, all she just went crazy and shit and gained weight and all kind of crazy shit. Like, I mean, like I said, it depends on the situation. Like people always say that the courts favor the woman, but I know plenty of men who have gotten their doggone children. They literally went there, got the kids, and they rolled off in the sunset and say, yo, you're gonna pay child
Well,
support.
the courts is going to naturally give you favor by 50% anyway. They're not going to deny the father of the kids. That I found out. I found out
Right.
90% of the time they're going to give you custody of the kids because I'm getting custody of my kids 50-50. But when it comes down to the money aspect or the material aspect, you will get kicked out of your own premises. You will lose part of your money. Okay, this is a thing that the child support and they come in, they will kind of ruin your life, but you will get custody if you got your own place. You can show that you have some sort of stability. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm listening. They will, yes, they
Yeah, because
will.
I just went through that in the court and stuff, and they told me this. Okay, I was like, oh, am I going to lose my kids because my wife called the false PFA on me? I was in the street. My wife
Yeah.
tried to call PFA on me. And so I kind of won that battle because I had a plan, because I was hoping that she would try to do this because it's actually going to benefit me. Now she got to pay all the bills. As soon as she moved me out of this house, okay, she didn't really technically move me. I moved myself out actually because I had a plan. And she got the name and she got all the bills in her name. Now she's bound to lose her job. Guess what's going to happen? She have a heavier burden. And I'm not updating her green card. I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm not doing no paperwork. I'm not getting her another job. I'm taking my phones, okay? The stuff that's my name that they can't touch. But other than that, a lot of guys don't have that privilege. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was in the streets I was homeless for like about a month. People don't believe me, man. Okay. As I said before, when you're emerald pill, you have to put yourself in the fire in order to come out as the diamond, okay? And
Uh,
when you're suffering as a pure-hearted Jesus type like myself, okay, you will get your blessing. Trust me, your suffering will pay through.
okay. All right. Now, question. Now, and your aspects of the stuff that you're saying, the aspects of the stuff that you're saying, I would wanna ask that I would want to ask like, has this benefited you um, you know, uh, you know, being the establishment of your own house or being the dominant of your own house. I'm just asking.
Yeah, sure. I like to make sure that I'm not the abuser. People be thinking I'm an abuser. I did give her 3 ways. I said you can either call the police and try to get the kids in school. She mainly called the PFA on me because she wanted the kids in school. You see, it may sound petty, but it's on the PFA. And I said to her, everything is in my name. What are you gonna? So the courts ignorantly wanted to, and that's a part of my plan. But I didn't think she was going to take the third step. That's a harsh step. She put me on the street by the authorities, but I had a plan. Okay. The first decision was I said, you can either obey me like you did was when you was in Ethiopia. Okay. No problems. The second my thought was we get a divorce and you get out. Okay. And you come visit, in America. Right.
Right.
But she don't want a divorce. She was like, I don't want a divorce, but I do want to, but she did it sneakily. She did it. And so I had a plan for that. So you know how you play chess? You got to think three
Yeah.
steps ahead.
Uh huh.
So I gave her 3 choices and she chose the dark choice. But which was the dark choice actually benefits me the most, okay? Because I feed off of dark energy to get my blessings. And okay. So I use esoteric knowledge. So it benefits me to have control. If I don't have control as a man, okay, I still will have control as a man, no matter which way you go. See? So she's losing on the front end. I can't help her. I said, you call the police. I can't help you with nothing. Okay. So so it benefits me by having the knowledge, okay, of playing chess with her. Okay. And she's losing. Okay.
I get it. I get it. And I mean, that's your house. I get it. You should not be forced to take care of somebody. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to court, as long as you're taking care of your kids, hey, I
I
got
told
no.
her, I told her, I'm not a babysitter for my kids. You're not going to keep me outside and I'm going to babysit my kids. I'm only renting. I don't have a house. I tell guys all the time not to get a house and share it and show a woman your house. If you have a house, right? Never. I have so many Caucasoid friends, Caucasian friends. It's just, I know so many guys who are still wet behind the ears. It's just sad. Okay. So what can I do? Okay. I can only tell them stop bringing hoes over your goddamn house. Go somewhere else, or maybe even go over her house as a last. Don't do it, because women in America is out to get you, okay? And they ain't no virgins when they do it, okay? All right.
No, that's true, and I think a lot. There's a big naivety. There's a big naivety to this kind of thing. I think that a lot of men and they play games of bones with each other, and it doesn't really work out, you know. Uh, and that's just the thing about it. So, uh, it's a sad time. I kind of wish that it worked out differently for a family, especially your family. Um, but hey, I get it. Like a lot of these
You
things.
know what I thought? I thought she would be the same, because I'm new. Everybody told me she would change, and I had to expect that she would change. Lots of people don't understand the predicament they will put themselves in if I ask them this question. I said that, you're giving up your soul if you come to America. Would you want to come to America, right? Would you come to America if you know that everything I earn for you, it belongs to me? And I told you this in advance. Am I the abuser by saying that to you?
No, you're not. You're just letting her know it is what it is. That's not a problem. That's just you're just being honest. You're just saying, hey, this is what I do. So
But there are people out there who call me an abuser. And I'm like, I literally told you, as an alpha, this is my card on the table. If you do this, this is going to happen. What's her name? Ruby? Ruby? Okay, remember your TV show? I was explaining to her about the difference between love and business. They're kind of the same to me. But there's people who have blind love. You know what I'm saying?
okay,
Hello?
yeah, that's true. No, there's such
And,
thing as blind love.
and blind love is the most dangerous thing for a man, because there's more men who die from blind love than women, okay? A hell of a lot too much to even comprehend. To me, the man is the victim and he must be protected at all times, especially the hierarchies, okay? And the thing is that as guys go up and they still have this passiveness in their voice about use vaginas, okay? I keep telling them to have standards, because that blind, I almost killed myself because I was a blue pill, you know? And it's very terrible that guys have to go through such a thing, because they're the beta male at first, okay? And then you get taken advantage of because you're a nerd or you don't know no better, okay? And I try to protect those men's rights in advance, but I don't get a lot of publicity. I'm not ambitious. You know that? Do you know I'm not really ambitious, BMT?
Well, I mean, if you're not ambitious, then hey, that's just you. I don't, I don't see a problem with that. I always just try to be realistic about a lot of stuff. Uh, I literally I sat down with a dude earlier. He was saying something about women. The one day if I train the minds of men to not get with women, that literally are on welfare, that'll change. That'll stop welfare. No, it won't. It won't stop welfare because there's always going to be people on welfare. There's always going to be poor. There's always going to be women. There's always going to be people selling sex.
There's always going to be white women using welfare, which they use it 10 times more than black women. So,
right.
If white, as long as white women exist,
stopping welfare. They're not stopping welfare. That's why I know so many people don't understand the world. But I'm like, you're not stopping welfare. You're just not. The only thing you can do is just literally build up your own world, like you and I have done. And when you know your world, nobody can remove you from your world. Does that make sense? Like you made it to where, okay, you're going to need me before I need you. Count it. And so, guess what happens? She needs you before you need her. So you built your world up into a certain status to where, hey, regardless of how this plays out, you need me to reinstate your paperwork. I don't have to do that. The girls and me are fine. You're not. It is what it is. I can't.
And guess what? I got some good news though. Listen to this, man. Now you may not believe me, and you might not believe my mystical side, okay, and my voices or my schizo or something like that. Have you ever heard of these obsidian beads?
Yeah.
You know, for some reason, as soon as I got my obsidian beads, come on in. Come on in. I got these beads, and all sorts of this crazy shit happened. Okay, because the obsidian beads to me is like it activates your mystical side. Okay, say hello.
Hello. Hey, Zaza.
And so as soon as I got this beads, right, I kind of like all this crazy shit started happening. I only been outside for a month. Got back home, got my obsidian beads, obsidian beads, and the canary virus happened. I got my kids back immediately. Everything is on conference call. So I'm like, I had to pay $40 for these things. You get two of them. This, I think you probably saw it on my page. You see it? It's only $20, but you get a discount if you go through PayPal. You get a $20 discount. And I'm like, I said, maybe it does have some sort of power because I don't really believe in nothing. I'm a skeptic and shit, guy. I said, you'd be surprised. I said, what the hell just happened? I got my kids and I'm with my kids and amazing. I believe it's good to be mystical sometimes. Sometimes you may need some moldavite or some, sapphire, okay, lupus labizal, okay, or crystal quartz. Some of these crystals may have some power to it. What do you think about that?
No, I mean, I believe in mysticism. I never said it didn't. And I do believe that there are unexplained things in the universe that literally can change and actually make certain things, pass by or, happen. It just said, hey, it's all believing, your faith that you have established. So that's just me, So I don't, not to say I don't believe in spirituality. I never said that. Okay. I have my belief, but, that's that. But
I was talking to Ruby. I remember I was talking to Ruby about the difference between love, and I think that if you just merge both of them together, if you just say love and you want to you don't put your heart in sleep, you never do that. If you just merge love and business and you have a trade-off, okay, I don't want to sound like I'm an abuser or anything by saying that if I don't get this, okay, you don't get that, okay, affection fades over time, beauty fades over time, right? So it's going to be most likely the men who have more of the control and personalities than the woman, because when the woman gets tired again, she's going to do some collateral damage, and that's marriage, okay, So I don't really want to get involved. I try to tell guys again all of the time that don't go in there empty plated all because she's beautiful. Don't do that, okay? And I was talking to her about being extrovert and introvert and stuff. It's better to be introvert, because if you're extroverting, you never have no discipline in the home, and your kids is gonna be all out of the place. You bringing darkness in the house, okay? Because I'm a disciplinary, okay? So I'm a father and a teacher, counselor, whatever. And every time I talk to women in my past, they don't hear me, okay, until it's too late, until they hit the wall, top carousel type shit, okay.
Right. Well, let me go ahead and eat dinner. I got a show coming up later on tonight. You're always welcome through, Emerald. You already know. I know you do 1 hour shows, so I don't want you to go too far past your 1 hour mark, But definitely
Okay, but
always
yeah,
come back through.
it's okay as long as you have discussion, because I got some other stuff. You can stay on the show, but it's up to you. 'Cause I also wanted to talk about the fall of the great mana tree, and that's really all I want to talk about. And we already talked about. I also wanted to talk about smacking hoes. When to smack your mama. Okay.
Oh God, let me get out of here before you get too dark. Let me get, but thank you for
Just
having
send
me.
me the link. Send me the link. I'll post your information on my page and your Cash
Uh,
App and stuff like that. But other than that, you can stay. It's up to you, man. But I talk about crazy stuff.
no, man, like I said, it's always good coming by. I like to always come by and support fellow content creators that we work together very well. So I'll see you, Emerald. See
Yeah,
you, Zaza.
send me the link, okay? Send me the link.
Got you.
All right, later. So as we already know that I do have companions who basically look up to me and I look up to them, okay? And we all stick together and shit. I may be more on the far right side, as alpha as I am, but there's other people who can be beta or beta alphas in society, okay? And I was trying to talk, I also wanted to say to BMC that lots of women look up towards beta alphas, and she kind of had an argument with me, Ruby, and I told her, "Do you know what a beta is?" And we can keep it to 3 levels. We don't need the zeta males and the omega males today. Which she didn't understand. So I don't like having arguments with people. So I'll try my best to explain to them what I mean. Because I'm an 80s child raised up in simplicity terms, okay, and then they get me misconstrued. But other than that, I was trying to explain to you how society's fucked up because all of the women choosing all of the beta males. Okay, a beta male is basically everyone you just look outside. You go outside, you're gonna likely see a beta male somewhere, and that's just a fact. Okay, let me make it very clear to you again. Beta males are nerds, geeks, mama's boys, live in their basement, play games. They're super geeky. Okay, they're nerds, or people call them names and stuff. They're not really good on their looks, so they're not going to be social. So they're antisocial, and 9 times out of 10, they're going to be virgins. Okay, and I tell guys, there's a whole lot of virgin beta males out there. Okay, and nobody wants to hear me. Okay, so I'm like, she don't understand my history, and she's using her psychology degree. I don't think she has a psychology degree, but I went to school for psychology, college for psychology, and I studied myself. Okay, and I was telling her that alphas are not outside either; they're antisocial as well. So we got 2 sides of the coin: the far left and the far right. Okay, and alphas are either teachers, businessmen. They don't go outside that much. They got things to do, man. They're not outside hinkle dinkling around and shit, going to bars and clubs and shit. No, alphas don't do that, and betas don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, but the beta males is a mixed bag of all sorts of variations of men out there. And beta men, they love use vaginas. So that's the number one trait of a beta male. You'll see a nice booty and thinking that that's a relationship type motherfucker right there. Okay, so they'll even try to manipulate a woman. Okay, because I used to be all three. I used to be a beta male, a beta alpha male, and now I'm superior as alpha male. Okay, but anyway, enough talking about what we're going to talk about, because we continue talking about the great story of the tree and get right through this, because I don't like going over 2 hours. I never try to go over 2 hours. Okay, the great mana tree stories like this. I put down in the description here about the Devil's Tower. You should look at it. And also in Arizona, there's a lot of mountains and shit, which basically look like they're clean cut. But what is the story behind that? Now, do you know the reason why we eat animals and shit like that? We eat animals and destroy the planet so much because once upon a time, there were trees that grew all the way to the stratosphere. Now, I don't remember where I read this book. The magistral tree and shit used to be sky high because we're living in a prison planet, so that's another subject for another day. But the trees used to be so high that people lived in the trees and fed off the earth until the white man came down. The planet has been scourged by the white empires because the Native Americans said that the white man, Oriental man, all them other light skin or light skinned mulatto individuals came from different worlds. They brought them here, the aliens, you see in the NASCAR lines and shit like that, and they brought them here and they destroyed the planet eventually so they can intermingle with one another because they wanted to crossbreed the intellectual properties, which we are crossbreeding now. So now no one's truly Aboriginal Africa anymore. So the tree used to reach the sky. The white man knocked it down. There were once giants upon the planet too. Okay? These giants were killed in the alternate time universe which is called 666 CERN, in which they went back in time and killed all the giants off with a bullet shot in their head. Okay, read about the giants as well, because even some in the military has discovered some giants that still exist to this day. And I was shocked that one of them was just killed like about a few years back and shit, and it was a giant and it was vast as hell. Look it up yourself. And of course, the giants were like as big as fucking as like 12 foot tall. They had lions as pets and shit like that. So the military and the white man had war with them, and these giants were once kind creatures, but they were no longer kind because the white man was killing them off because it was too big. And you ever heard the story of David and Goliath? If you want some facts there you go. So the giants was all killed off. So they started destroying the planet and shit because the white man was basically, when I say white man, I'm talking about draconian individuals who don't have a bone of humanity or respect for the earth, the individuals who like chaos in order to create monetization through money and suffering and turmoil because we're living in a matrix. Okay, so these trees used to stand that tall, so they destroyed the trees, killed off the different species of animals and shit, killed off the motherfucking tyrants and shit, the giants and shit like that. And next thing you know, they started making mansions, and the girth was, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, one thing led to another. One of the demiurge gods named Shiva came down on the planet and said, "Wow, you have done a great thing." That's when the city of Atlantis was existing and shit. Now you can take it there, you can go under the different directions and shit. But once this Shiva god saw that the earth was together as one with multiple races and shit, because the white man was basically, we could call draconians and shit, was cahoots with the alien grays and different other species like the Star Trek universe, and basically they was working together at one time. Okay, and the demiurge god saw this. But the thing is that mankind struck first, and they have the black satellite in space. When I say black satellite, look it up. When I say things, look it up. Okay, so it was a great war, but the Shiva god or the Vishnu god said, "No, that shit don't work on me." She came through the clouds and shit, and eventually sent down a bolt of fire and shit, which burned the planet, which caused the waters to recede, and of course to exceed the limits of it was. And a great flood occurred, and the earth was seared, and we got deserts, and we no longer have crystal clear water and shit, which you can see through the ground anymore. If you can look on the internet, you can look on your maps, you can actually see what this crystal clear water. Okay? The crystal clear water was once all upon the planet, but it's not like that anymore. And of course, you have the trees that were cut down and shit. And it was a great ancient war with the demiurge god. The humans tried to fight the demiurge god and were slaughtered. But there's also another story with the Anunnaki gods. And the Anunnaki gods knew about the gold on the planet because that's a part of their planet which can move around in the atmosphere of space. And of course, since you don't know about the Anunnaki, look up Zachariah Ascension and David Icke, and you will know I am telling the truth. That's the moon is like a satellite which keeps track of this monitoring system, which basically that's why we are trapped in this body. This is why we call it the prison planet. So I really narrowed it down about why we eat animals now, because we no longer eat from the tree. It's called the manna tree. And that manna tree fed us for at least about 600 to 700 years. We used to live for at least near 1,000 years, man. Okay, until the tree's destroyed, we no longer can live that no more, peoples. We can't live for 600 years like fucking King Solomon the Great, the wisest man of all time. Okay. All right. One day I'll repeat myself again, but please understand, I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. So don't underestimate me. Don't call me a fool without asking questions. Now let's continue on now. Since I talked about why the mana tree, the great fall of the mana tree, we got over that with that real quickly. We talked about the new age strategy, prevention from Lilith. Now we going to talk about I talked about all those things already. Okay, so I'm looking at my notes here in my description box here. It's also being extroverted and introversion dating. If you're introvert, it's better to be introverted dater, because if you have standards, you're better off. If you're extrovert, you might as well go to a fucking bar because you don't have any standards. Okay, you're looking at attraction and appearances, which is not cool. Okay, marriage is a business, so get that through your thick skulls, everybody. And when to smack your mama and some hoes. Okay, so that's an interesting topic. So it's in the description box as well. So if my mama was a wicked person, listen to the story of Eminem. He put his mama in the trunk of his car and drove that bitch off the fucking river, okay? Because his mama was rude, okay? So there's guys out there who are the pinnacle of evil. So they'll defend their mother even if their mothers are wicked. So they both need to be slaughtered, right? So I put a post up there to when is the right time to, if your girlfriend did something disrespectful, right? And all of a sudden your girlfriend, your mother smacked your girlfriend, okay? What would you do if your mother smacked your girl? Okay, now, as I say this time and time again, I'm a sadist and a Satanist. So ask questions. Don't jump to conclusions. If you don't know what a Satanist is, please ask. I'm technically not a Alex Crowley, okay, but I'm explaining to you what I mean clearly. So if your mama smacks your wife that you really care about, what would you do? So what you would do is basically either A, ask her why she hit her, B, do not do nothing, or C, hit your mom back, okay? Or D, you might even hit both of them, okay? So my answer is that I would say it depends on what my wife said, okay? Because if my mother smacks my wife out of some drama shit going on outside here. There's some drama shit going on in my house. What you doing in my house? Somebody just entered somebody's house illegally? Okay, there's some drama going on. So, careful, because sometimes crackers get a little crazy down here. So I would say it depends, because if my wife is arrogant and prideish, and I tell her to be quiet and she kept her mouth shut, then she will not get hit. Okay, and then I will let my mom smack her. Okay, so you put my daughter down here. These crazy crackers out here. Okay. Babies. When you have babies, babies are easy. I watch countless of children with single mothers, single whore mothers. But anyway, understand this. If your mom was a whore in her past, which most moms are, your mom was probably a whore too. So don't get offended, you know. But to me telling the truth now here. Um, what would you do? Okay, if your mother smacked your wife. And me, it's like this. If she did something that disrespected, then my mom gets smacked, okay? Okay, because she was in the wrong. Okay. Now, if my wife did some shit, then it's time to smack her. My mom smack her, then I'll probably smack her too. Because I'm cruel like that. That's who I am. Okay, you know, if my mom smacked me, I smack her back. Okay, because she was wrong. You know, I'm a grown ass adult. She might not like me no more for that, but she's not gonna put her hands on me because she actually abused me when I was younger. You understand how that works now? So understanding the history of what relationship you have with your mother, you have a right to hit back if you want. Do you understand me? If you're a pussy, you ain't gonna do nothing. If a big motherfucker would hit me, right? What is the first thing I'm supposed to do when I'm outside in the open? Act like it's okay until I get a brick and then sneak him. Okay, because it's like if he can see you in your visualization. Okay, I remember this one guy. This dude was huge. He hit the dude. Okay, I'm like, well, he shoved him around and shit like that. So the dude just walked like nonchalantly. I was like, oh, is he a pussy? No, he was acting like, oh, I'm soft. He was acting soft. And then he took a bottle and smashed it on his head when he was least expecting it. Then he ran away. Great move because he got shoved first. You don't put your hand. Listen, women, do not get too close to people's proximity in spaces. If you're into my proximity, I will knock your fucking head off. I remember there was a football player. I'm gonna tell you, swear to God, and he put his hand on me. The violation means that you get touched. I knocked this motherfucker. He was 200. He's over 100 pounds to me. I'm 150. He was 250. He was a football. I punched that motherfucker so hard. I knocked that motherfucker. I did not understand how much strength I had. I said, told you could. When I was in Johnson C. Smith University, I tell you right now, people, keep your hands to yourself. And you 9 times out of 10, your mama was probably a hoe. So if you ever have any hoes and you have that pimp like mentality, you can smack your bitch, but don't beat your bitch with a fucking hanger and a fucking bat. Here, countless fucking horror stories where hoes do not bring back the money, bitch. And that motherfucking pimp be strict as fuck. He has to be strict, but I think you should just use your hand and smack the shit out of the bitch a couple times. But you got to watch it now. Now, there's another topic I want to talk about in relation to this. There are women who like to be abused. Sorry. There's women who like to be raped. Sorry. You don't want to hear it? Fuck you. The women, I've talked to those type of women. And it's a very peculiar type of sense of personality and also a fetish. So they have this fetish in their head that they like to look this way so they can entice men to rape them because the fact that it's a fetish. There's females who like to eat shit. There's females who like to eat doggy, dookie, ice, sand, okay, eat blood, drink blood, like to be pissed on, okay, and you be surprised at how many fetishes there are. Like me, I have a fetish with fucking women with strap-ons, motherfucker. Okay, and I get paid from them type of bitches because they ain't really that attractive. That's a negative when you trying to be a gigolo, okay, an ex-gigolo like I was. But understand this. What else is there to talk about? So we talk about multiple things down here. And my daughter is getting on my nerve. Okay, moving around. I'm gonna get my own studio. Soon I got my own apartment now. My wife is gonna pay for part of that apartment too with her own money, or I'm gonna be staying here. She wants some space between us because I'm so strict about a dirty house and shit. So I said, okay, as long as you pay for it, I can't 100% afford to live on my own, but she has to help me or I'll just be stuck here. I can't be in the streets and shit. I can't go to the shelters and shit. I might as well just go to jail, right? So that's when you can smack her up. When she's out of line and you're a pimp. There are women who love to be abused and raped. And psychologically speaking, lots of women likes to be abused by men. Okay. And what I mean by that is that abuse means that they want a man to control them. Like when my wife was in Ethiopia, she basically liked to be controlled. Okay. Because she has no other power. I could easily left, but she didn't want me to leave. Okay. All right. Like a lot of men don't understand that women need to be abused in some sort of sense. Now, like unlike Ruby, she may have been through some torment. I've even talked to countless women who have been abused by men, but I think they actually like it because they be with those guys for like a year or two, and all you got to do is basically call the police and get rid of them immediately. But they don't. So, as I said before, I'm a sadist, so I'll be asking questions like, "Then why did you stay with him that long? If he bashed you over the head with a fucking bottle or smacked the shit out of you and shit like that, right? Right, 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 right." You're gonna stay with a motherfucker bash you over your head and you didn't do shit. One day you wake up and shit, he choked the shit out of you. I'm gonna start laughing like, oh, why are you gonna choke you all of a sudden out of the blue? You dumb bitch. Are you out of your mind? You must have did something wrong. These women be staying with these abusive men. Either it be because they don't want to be alone, either because they like that dick, okay, whatever. Understand that a man has more power than a woman, right? And I do not condone, I do not um, advise anybody to abuse anybody. But yeah, I understand there's two sides of the motherfucking story. There's two sides of the motherfucking story, peoples. Okay. So we since we talked about all those things, so we talked about the New Age strategy prevention for Lilith for 2020 again. And we talked about the fall of the great mana tree. Okay. Somebody wanted me to talk about it. I talked about smacking hoes and women who love to be abused and raped. I talked about being an extrovert and an introvert. Okay. And I'm gonna put his information in there later. Okay. So other than that, we talked about bullying and stuff and how it can have a positive uh, detriment in society. Okay, it's a great things that have a great evil can have a greater good. Trust me on that. The planet, and as I was saying about the story about how the planet was recycled with fire, earth, and water, Shiva destroyed the planet with fire. Okay, and so what happens is that Shiva said to the humans and the other races and shit with magical beings and special abilities and sciences and shit like that, that I can read your thoughts. And Shiva said to the human race, hey, I'm going to reset your whole entire vessels. That means destroy the body and reincarnate you. And when you reincarnate, you understand that you should never be arrogant enough, but also have respect enough. You don't necessarily need to have fear. Fear is the essence of false evidence appearing real. And what happens is that the humans attacked first, and Shiva just waved her in one hand and it stopped in midair. And then all of a sudden, the earth was destroyed in fire because of arrogance and fear. And sometimes I talk to scientists sometimes and I tell them, hey, mathematics can't be used for every dimension, time, and space. Get out of the arrogance box. You can't calculate what fucking infinity is, so don't try to make a solution for fucking everything, you do, bitch. What else is to talk about? I guess that's it in today. So I'm gonna put his information up there so y'all can get in touch with him, and also his Cash App as well. And as I said before, I do not recommend people to be ambitious because when you have money, that's return. It is called blood money. I believe that all money has an attachment to it, a mystical attachment, and I don't want that negative attachment. I don't want your pity money. Okay. So if someone helps me, one of the lead helps me, I would know that person personally. I do not like to receive large sums of like tens of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars. I don't know you. Don't give it to me. Give me 100. Give me like 200, 500, whatever. Don't give me. I'm gonna be looking at it like you gave me too much money. I'm paranoid. I'm sending it back. Okay. But other than that, you should know from the bottom of your heart what I'm trying to do here for a noble cause. Okay, for a noble cause, because I am a god in this body. And you are also a god as well. So I'm never arrogant about that. It's just that if you live in fear, you can't really be a mopil. Can't. So peace and love to you, brothers and sisters of Light and Dark. Welcome to my page. And if you can't pay attention, get the hell out of here. If you're sensitive, get the hell out of here. And if you're basically wanting to stick in the muds, get the hell out of here. Okay. I don't like them. I hope you ain't watching your phone, baby. Okay. I tell BMT all the time. Most of the time, I show my daughters.
Do you want to watch
Yeah. I'm about to. Okay, I'm about to get off. Okay, and you may get your phone. Okay, all right. Your mom.
My phone is charging.
That's right. Your mom did good today, so the internet stays on. Okay, so go ahead. Don't get that phone. Don't touch it. Peace and love to you, brothers and sisters. I'm looking at the BMT show in a few minutes because he's gonna send me a link, and I always sit back and listen on the show because I'm not. I don't want to run my mouth on the show. Okay? I have too many credentials and shit. Okay, all right. Take over his show because that's his show. Everybody's different in their own fashion. Peace and love to you, brothers and sisters. Light and Dark. Welcome to my page. If you have any comments, questions, or insults, or roast, put it down below. Okay. What is there else to say? I try to keep my shit under 10 minutes, under 30 minutes, and then an hour, and then 2 hours. And look what I'm doing now. It's almost a 2 hour thing. Okay. I love you all, but I hate the many of you. I love animals more than human beings, but I don't fucking fuck the animals since I'm not that desperate, baby. And y'all have a nice day. And look up the things I was talking about, okay? A little while ago, the Devil's Tower. Look up how the water is crystal clear over there in the Far East somewhere compared to the rest of the world, which is salt water. Look at the deserts. Do you think nothing was? It was completely burned and incinerated, okay? Like Shiva's bolts of extreme temperatures, okay? Which killed off the human race. They had to live in caves and shit. Understand this. There's drawings of these wars too. And people's heads are being chopped off and used as necklaces and shit. Peace.